Boy, does this bring back memories. Whoa. You know, C.S. Lewis once said, aim at heaven and you'll get the earth thrown in. Aim at earth and you get neither. Rick Rescorla aimed for heaven every minute of every day. His very last moments on this earth were literally spent aiming for heaven. On September 11, 2001, Rick was last seen walking back up the stairs of the World Trade Center in search of stragglers in the general direction of heaven. While searching for material I used for the speech, I did a simple Google search for my friend Rick, and just typed his name into the search engine, and within seconds, I had 10,609 hits for websites that had Rick's name mentioned somewhere within the page. To give you a little perspective on the numbers, when I did a search for my own name, I came up with 2 hits. And both of them had to do with Rick Rescorla. Should give you a small idea of what this extraordinary man meant to so many. As far as achievement goes, no one can touch Rick. A rugby player, a teenage paratrooper, an intelligence officer in Cyprus, a member of Her Majesty's Colonial Force in Northern Rhodesia, a Scotland Yard detective, go figure, right? A colonel in the United States Army, and a cancer survivor. The list goes on and on. The things that made Rick so exceptional, however, are not the things he achieved for himself, but rather the things he did for others. Sometimes, as with the last time, at great personal cost to himself. Because of Rick, 2,700 terrified, disoriented employees of Morgan Stanley made it out of the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. When interviewed later, most of them remember his singing. Because of Rick Rescorla, hundreds of scared, homesick American boys made it home from the bloodiest battle fought in Vietnam in the Ia Drang Valley. Talking with some of them, what they remember the most of that day was his singing, just as General Moore was saying. Because of Rick and the way he chose to live, I'm able to give this speech today. He saved my life that day in Vietnam, and I sure remember his singing. Most people who knew Rick say that he is the bravest man they've ever known. But not only was he brave, he inspired bravery in others, and more often than not, he used his voice to do it. Through something as simple as a song, he was able to cut through confusion, to motivate, to unite, and to inspire those around him to act. He spent his life singing at the top of his lungs, sometimes, and his songs led people to life in the very face of death. He led people to life. How many of the survivors of the Twin Town Centers re-entered the building after making it out safely that fateful day? That would be crazy enough for anyone to do that. In the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 13, Christ says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." What can you say about a man who lays down his life not only for his friends, but also for those who he doesn't even know and has never even seen? Rick never thought twice about laying down his life. After guiding over 3,000 people out of the second tower, he called his wife Susan. He let her know he was going back in and probably would not be coming home. When asked why, he simply said, "There are still people inside." He never hesitated. What kind of courage does that take? The truth is, because of men like Rick Rescorla, most of us will never know. I like to think Rick is serving in the ultimate army now, and maybe that's why he was taken. The Lord simply could not bear to be without him anymore, and I'm sure he still has important work to do. What I know in my heart is this: I will see Rick Rescorla again, and when I do, I'll recognize him by his singing.